Good evening. Welcome to the Chris Salcedo Show here on Newsmax TV. By now, you've all heard that the controversial left-wing social media site Facebook has decided to uphold their ban on President Trump. Now, I hear there are some people out there who are a little angry at this. Are they really? Facebook, Twitter, and all the other woke companies. Yesterday's news, as far as I'm concerned, that's what we're discussing in tonight's preamble. One of the headlines blared, Facebook board upholds Trump ban, but orders new review. Another headline claiming Trump ban, Republicans threatened to break up Facebook after oversight board decision. Okay, let's break this down. Facebook is a private company. Facebook is unfair to conservatives. Facebook censors points of view that differ from liberals. Facebook has been found to echo and promote false information. But they have every right to be left-wing anti-American freaks. If you are a conservative, if you're an American who values free speech, then it's probably not a good idea to have a Facebook account. Twitter and Google, they are nearly Xerox copies of the left-wing incompetence and liberal bigotry in their private businesses as well. Nobody is forcing you to be on Twitter or Facebook or Google or use their products. Now let's get over to the GOP. Republicans are threatening to break up Facebook, you say. Oh, they sound angry, don't they? Now, how does the GOP plan on breaking up Facebook? They control nothing. The best we can hope for at this point is that conservative states take some action. But in truth, all the GOP is doing is lobbing these empty threats out there to generate campaign donations. Why do I know it's an empty threat? That very same Republican Party, when they controlled both houses of Congress and the White House, did absolutely nothing to rein in Google, Twitter, or Facebook's unfair business practices. What's ironic is those same left-wing tech giants rewarded the Republicans' timidity by going to work using their monopolies to defeat Republicans and silence their voices. The GOP got exactly what they deserved. We, the people, didn't, but the GOP did. In Texas, more woke companies fired off a letter to the Texas legislature warning them not to disrupt Democrats' ability to cheat at the ballot box. Their statement read in part, quote, "We stand together as a nonpartisan coalition calling on all elected leaders in Texas to support reforms that make democracy more accessible and oppose any changes that will restrict eligible voters' access to the ballot," end quote. First, we are not a democracy. We are a representative republic. Secondly, if an eligible voter wants to access the ballot box 3 days after an election, should we get rid of that restriction that prohibits that? Thirdly, these companies and left-wing groups say they want free and fair elections, but they promote policies that undermine that very prospect. They are pushing for multiple unmonitored drop boxes for ballots, universal no-excuse mail-in ballots, no voter ID, and no purging of the voter rolls. That, among other things. Now, all of these policies undermine Americans' desire to ensure that there's one eligible voter that is tied to one vote. Now, here are some of the companies that put their names on this letter. Un-American Airlines, Microsoft, HP, Salesforce, Unilever, Etsy, Patagonia, REI, Co-op, and Levi Strauss & Company. Now, if you support their advocacy against free and fair elections, go ahead and patronize those private companies. If you don't support their advocacy, then don't patronize those companies. After Amazon attacked Parler by kicking them off their servers, after Apple and Google attacked Parler, kicking them off of their app stores, American conservatives, not Republicans, but American conservatives were shocked awake. It was at this moment we knew that a monumental shift in America was coming, and it's here. The other day, I was pitched a new cell phone. This phone doesn't use any Apple technology or Google technology, and it comes fully loaded with conservative apps. Now, if it performs as promised, I'm going to be honest with you, I might buy it. There are cell phone companies out there that pledge they will not donate to any liberal causes, only to conservative causes. There are free speech platforms that are popping up every day to cash in on a market that Twitter, Google, and Facebook have abandoned, the conservative pro-American market. President Trump, Mike Lindell, and others, they're starting their own communications platforms. I expect we're going to be seeing conservative basketball leagues, conservative baseball leagues, and football leagues, venues where patriotic Americans can once again enjoy sports. after the NBA, Major League Baseball, and the anti-American NFL sided with enemies of America. We are already seeing TV studios and entertainment venues promoting themselves as alternatives to leftists in Hollywood. I believe that the pro-American tolerant market will win the day, and leftists will ultimately kill their geese that lay the golden eggs. Now, why do I say that? It's because they always do. I can always rely on the left wing to overreach. They can't help themselves. It's in their nature. This is where America is headed. Conservative and liberal stores, restaurants, technology companies, clothing companies, etc. The reason why we are headed here is because the left no longer wants to be American. They want to be something other than our Constitution prescribes. They wanted everything to be politicized. So they did it. And now we all see the result. An America divided. And we will remain this way until the anti-American left is defeated.
Hey, I'm Rob Finnerty. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please join the conversation in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, too. Hit the bell icon to be alerted to breaking news. And remember, there's a whole lot more on Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable news network. Newsmax TV, we're real news for real people.